Hey Taurus, in today's tarot reading, we're going to take a look and see what your cards are predicting for you for the upcoming month. So the energy that crowns your reading here is the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is a positive card. It is a card of attraction. It is a card of something coming together. Of course, something joining forces here. Perhaps it could signal that this month there may be a close partnership or a close bond or a unity that is being forged. There is this cosmic energy as well with the Two of Cups, and it just feels like something here is in the works for you this month. Okay, so whether it is something romantic, whether it is business related or even otherwise, there is something here that comes together very nicely, and it does feel like it has the cosmic energy behind it. Any partnerships, any connections, romantic, business, professional, or otherwise, is any connections being made, they're being, it does suggest like there's a balance in the partnership, and it does suggest that there is respect and there's honor in this partnership or in this union. You may also, there may be a connecting energy that you are currently involved with, or there may be someone new who is coming into your life, but it feels like you and this person are intertwined, okay, or will be intertwined. Like your emotions are so closely intertwined with this individual. So definitely a strong pair is indicated in the Two of Cups. In fact, so intense that you've got the Devil that showed up here. Now the Devil could represent an ex, so this month you may expect to hear from an ex. You might even be keen on igniting the passion here with a former flame. So whether an ex reaches out to you from the blue, whether you're the one reaching out to this ex, or whether you're and your ex here are going to try and make things work again. But this month is a very positive month, because it does denote that two people are joining forces together, and a strong pair, it does denote also a strong pair, two becoming one kind of energy. But when it comes to the Devil, you of course, you have to notice the details and the imagery here, and of course the darkness with the Devil. So if this is an ex, obviously it's an ex for a reason, or has been an ex for a reason. Okay, so the first time you and this person haven't worked out, okay, and there may be several reasons behind that, but just keep in mind if you are reconnecting with an ex, because for a lot of you, you will be, okay, you will be getting in contact with an ex might reach out to you from out of the blue, and it does feel like, because you and this person, like, it feels like you guys are still closely connected, okay, whether emotionally or energetically, and it does feel like both of you, there's this point of attraction towards each other, and it feels like both of you might be keen on trying to make things work. But of course, you guys tried in the past, and for some reason, it just didn't work out. So be careful that if you are trying to reconnect with an ex, you're not approaching the situation, you're not approaching it in the same way, in the same angle in which things failed in the first place, okay? So, if there was a lot of, if it was really messy, if it was a relationship that got really messy and just really, intense, and the attraction was just too much, it was too overwhelming, if there were certain things, if there was a love triangle, or if there were certain, because the Devil also represents addictions, intoxication. So if there were just certain substances that maybe your person or yourself were indulging in, just be careful that you do not repeat those same mistakes, okay? Be careful that you do not become powerless to whatever broke off the relationship in the first place. So you can't, because there may be some healing to do, and you cannot heal in the same environment in which you got unwell in the first place, right? So what I'm trying to say is, and for those of you, just be careful if you are trying to get back with an ex, because even though this is the same person, you want to do things differently, right? You do not want to, and fair enough, you might have history, and some of that history may be really great and positive, but you do not want to, you want to nurture the love. You don't want to go back to what broke this relationship or what failed this relationship in the first place. Now for others, it could, it may not necessarily mean an ex, but I do see that there is a strong focus on romance this month. And I do think for a lot of you, I do think there is this ex that is sort of circling or lingering in the energies here. So whether you're trying to reconnect with an ex, whether an ex just tries to reconnect with you, reaches out of the blue, like out of nowhere, very suddenly, very unexpectedly, and it might appear that way, but it does feel like there's this, it feels like someone here emotionally or energetically has a hold on you, and I think you can almost feel this person's energy. So if you're finding yourself thinking about a certain individual, it's very likely that this person is also thinking about you. Okay, so yeah, strong indication of someone who is still very much attracted or still very feels very connected or very drawn to you, does want to come back and reestablish a union. The good news is, this person, okay, yes, they're not perfect, okay, and maybe what you had wasn't necessarily perfect, but the good news is, I think, because you've got the Two of Cups as the underlying energy here, I do think that this is someone who wants to come back, in this state of, them wanting to work things out. This person wants to work through things. This person wants to balance out the energies, and they're approaching this with, with respect. They're approaching this with an open heart and open mind, and with respect as well towards you and towards this connection. So I do see someone is coming back in a more loving energy. Okay, speaking of loving, if this isn't an ex, the person's energy feels very full on. It feels very intense. Okay, and that could point to a twin flame connection. You may be involved with a twin flame, or you might necessarily you might connect with a twin flame energy this month. Okay, because it feels like this is very intense to the point where it can get a little bit uncomfortable, purely because of the intensity of the connection and the intensity of the attraction that you have for one another, and you both share this energy. So it's like your energy and their energy, that's sort of amplified, that's doubled here. Be careful not to get too consumed, intoxicated, and addicted to one another and to feeling this way as well, because with the devil card, notice you've got Adam and Eve. They're sort of tied to each other, right? But because of the way that the chains hang loose, it feels like this is self-voluntary, right? So the longer that they stay in this situation, and the longer they hang around the devil here, the more that they start, because they're starting to sprout horns, so the more that they start to resemble the Baphomet, the devil itself. So yeah, be careful not to get swallowed up by this addiction or this intoxication or this attraction that you have for one another. But of course, it doesn't necessarily have to signal something romantic here for some of you. The devil could just be warning you against overindulging excessively. Too much of anything can make you become an addict. So if you're eating too much sugar, or if you're smoking too much, or whatever this is, I feel like that, and especially because you've got the Hangman alongside here, I feel like this month is all about shining a light onto a shadow aspect of your individual self, or a shadow aspect of your person, okay, the person that you're romantically involved with, you're connected to, or like a shadowy aspect of the relationship that you're forming, or the relationship that you've formed. Okay, so it's all about making acquaintances, making friends with your weaknesses, your insecurities, your flaws, and trying to turn them into a positive, or even embracing them, guys. That's the other thing, even just embracing them, or it depends what it is, right? But anything that doesn't serve you positively, it's all about dragging that dark aspect of your individual selves or of the relationship, dragging it out into the light so that you can shine a light on this, and you can see what needs fixing, what needs healing, what needs working on. There is some delays that are happening this month, and I think this month is going to be a little bit like stop and start, that kind of energy. Things might be happening, and then sometime throughout the month it just might slow down. But I do think, you know, because of the artful manner in which the hangman here hangs himself, I think it's very important for you just to you know, take a step back. Don't try to force anything. If something is not happening, don't try to force fit it. It will not do you any good, okay? And if there's certain delays, sometimes those delays are actually working in your favor because they're giving you a chance to step back and reflect on something. So again, if something is not happening for you, it, you know, it's for a reason. It's because the universe wants you to take a step back and maybe do some assessing or some, you know, self-evaluation or self-reflection here. And I see that that's gonna, for a lot of you, that's gonna be the focus for you this month, especially from the past. You know, maybe the relationships that you've been involved with, maybe your actions, your past actions, your past, you know, emotional patterns, behavioral patterns. There may be something from the past that still has this firm grip and firm hold on you, something that didn't work out, something that, like, it feels like the energies of this, whether it's a failed relationship or whether it's some sort of failed opportunity, it feels like the energies of this thing are still lingering, and they've got a bit of a grip on you. And even though you want to let go, it's a bit hard to do so. So there just may be a need for you to face your demons, right? Face your demons, whatever those may be. Now, you do have some sort of news, and I think this is positive news that is coming for you this month. And I think this is something that is going to sort of, it's going to jolt you wide awake. This is what it feels like. It's just like, maybe it's something that you've been waiting for. Maybe it's an opportunity that comes your way. But because you've got Judgment here, this is something that I feel like is really going to get your attention. And it's really going to get your energy focused as well. So look, maybe it's something that you've been waiting on. Maybe you've been waiting to hear from an ex. Maybe it's, you know, an ex that is trying to reconnect with you. And all of a sudden, trust me, like, this is going to, it just feels like there's this charge of electricity towards this charge of electricity that comes in with the news or comes in with some sort of communication. But it is positive, okay, and it is well received. So whatever it is here, I think it's really got your attention and it's really got your focus here, and that's positive. And I think this is something that's going to, it's very uplifting, and I think it's something that's going to, like, it's going to motivate you, it's going to inspire you. And if you've been in a bit of a slump or a slumber lately, I think it's going to wake you up a little. It's going to, you know, shake you up a little and go, you know, this is worth pursuing, or this is worth chasing. Could be a romantic energy that will try and connect with you. Could be a job opportunity that comes your way. Could be some sort of, you know, I don't know, it could be something like a personal, some sort of endeavor. You might have an opportunity to pursue something, something that I feel like is really in alignment with who you are. So that's coming, so that's happening for you this month. So you'll receive news of some sort, but it does feel like that it's positive news, and it does feel like this is something that you've been wanting, and it's something that you've had your eye at, you've had your eye on. So it's something that I feel like you are very open to and you're in alignment with. There is a Tower moment that is being predicted for you this month, or for some of you, I think you're coming out of a Tower moment. So, you know, maybe it's, look, it might be, because I feel like the past, I feel like there's something to do with the past here this month, and I feel like the past you might be taking a trip down memory lane, and you might be triggered by the past, you know, especially by like a breakup, or by someone's energy who, this person, it doesn't matter whether romantic or not, but this person still has a very strong hold on you. And I think that there's some sort of shadow aspect to this person. That's not to say, like, I'm not saying that this person, you know, is not good for you, or they're not, you know, they're not a good person in general. I'm not saying that, but I do think they've had some sort of influence on you, which maybe hasn't always been positive, or, you know, they may have said or done things that have hurt you, and it's still lingering. That pain is still lingering. Those wounds are still lingering and festering. So I think that, you know, maybe you're taking a trip down memory lane, maybe you're being triggered, maybe there's a need for you to face something from your past, face your demons, face the past, confront it, why something didn't work out. Sometimes, you know, people like to just bury the pain or bury things deep inside of them. And that's not good, because whatever you don't deal with, yeah, you can like bury it for a couple of, I don't know, years, weeks, days, right? But it's going to resurface. It's going to come back to the surface, and when it does, it's going to get ugly. So it's so important to, you know, not bottle anything up, because for some of you, that's exactly what it is. It's bottled emotions. It's pent up emotions. It's emotions of anger, resentment, frustration. Notice the dark setting both in the Devil, the Tower, and the Five of Cups. So it's something that needs healing, okay? And maybe you thought you've healed it. Maybe you thought you're over it, whatever this is from the past, whether it's a failed relationship, whether, you know, something didn't work out for you, whether it's a betrayal, or, you know, whatever the Tower moment. You know what it is, because I think it's still lingering in your energies, like around you. And it's you've bottled it up. You've not really dealt with it. You thought you have, but there's still something there that needs fixing or healing or like moving on from, if that makes sense. And there is something, look, I think especially, look, with the Five of Cups, I think there is something that you're still like really focused on, why something didn't work out, or why something failed, right? Or why something didn't work out according to plan. I think you, Taurus, you have to understand here that sometimes things not working out are also a part of things working out for you. And it's not something you might be able to see right now from this vantage point, given where you're at, but just trust that everything is working out for you. And of course, the Page of Cups does bring in, there's a beautiful, it feels like a love letter or a love note or a romantic gesture that is being, that is going to be made for you here. Like a handwritten love note, something that I feel like is very, like it's got a hint of fairy tale romance, or fairy tale charm rather, attached to this, right? So handwritten love note, handwritten letter, a romantic gesture, or it could be someone that you meet is very, maybe they resemble your favorite, you know, storybook prince or princess. Maybe they're very charming, and it's just, there's something about them that's very novelesque, it's very poetic. You know, Mr. or Mrs. Romantic over here. So there is someone here that is showing up in your life with, and a strong romantic energy is indicated around this person and associated with this person, or otherwise there's just something very novelesque and something very like fairy tale like that is being that is coming your way this month. Okay, so, you know, a beautiful flowers with a beautiful handwritten note, a romantic gesture. It could be someone new that is coming in for you, someone very romantic, someone very poetic, someone who just loves romance, or it could be someone that you're connected to, and I feel like they're putting together something very special for you, okay? And maybe this is like something is finally coming together for you. It could even be a proposal. Some of you might even receive a engagement proposal this month, because there's just something very, it's like either it's something you've always wanted and you've always had in your vision, or it's just something very, very fairy tale like attached to this energy and this gesture. Okay guys, these are your messages. Please show your support to the channel by subscribing, so hit that subscribe button guys, it helps the channel to grow, and by liking, sharing, or commenting. Thank you guys for your time and your attention. Bye.